let's make lemonade. Okay, let's go to work.
That's the signal! Go, 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 go! 6! It's beautiful! Mother Nature just pissed her pants, dude!
Wake up and hit the ground running. It's The Rush, presented by Willis Auto, with Travis Justice and Ross Peterson bringing you raw, unfiltered, and unapologetic talk about sports, life, and everything else that matters. No filtered, no fluff, just The Rush.
Willis Automotive powers the Rush Radio Show, and if you're in the market for a vehicle, this is where you start. New, used, or certified pre-owned, Willis Automotive has the selection, the people, and the service to make it easy. No pressure, no games, just a team that knows how to take care of you. Check them out at willisauto.com. That's willisauto.com, and experience the Willis difference. If you're listening on the audio stream this morning at therushradio.com, the Rush Radio Android app, or the TuneIn app, thank you so much. Watching on YouTube, hit that subscribe button, give this video a like, and of course, you can leave your comments in the comments section. Good morning, Ross Peterson. What's going on?
Buddy? Not a lot. Fun, fast weekend. Really fast weekend.
It was, and I got up this morning and I put together a show. Yeah.
Okay. All right. You shot a look up. I thought that something was wrong. I'm like, I can't hear me. You're texting like this.
But I got up this morning, started putting a show sheet together, all excited about the show that we're going to do today for 2 hours, going to be here till 8 o'clock. And you sit down and you go, hey, man, I put a show sheet together. I took the bull by the reins and I got a show for you. And
bull by the reins.
Or bull by the horns. Bull by the horns.
I don't remember saying any of those things.
That's what I heard in my head.
Oh, okay. This is one of those, he hates me. No, I just said I didn't want to go shopping with you. Well, you basically said you hate me.
Kind of like that, yeah.
You heard what you want to hear. No, you sent me you sent me a fun idea about the end of the year here stuff, right? Like let's put together some a fun show and do like a year in review type of thing for the year of Iowa, or the year of 2025 in Iowa. So last night I was cooking dinner, and I've talked about this before. I use ChatGPT a lot for cooking advice and just meal prep and stuff. And, here's what I'm planning for dinner. Can you help me time this all out so it's all ready at one time? And in the process, you sent me that, and I had a conversation that was kind of creepy, but also just, I don't know, unsettling would be the wrong. It's too harsh of a word, but just kind of creepy with ChatGPT last night.
That is creepy that you just said, hey, ChatGPT, will you be my friend today? Will you be my friend today?
I didn't say ChatGPT be my friend. What I said was, essentially, hey, all I use you for is recipes, and I know you can do a lot more. So let's see how this works out. And I said, and by the way, it knew that we did a radio show. It knew that I was a realtor also. And it fired off. I told it we're going to do a year in review for 2025. What would be the top 10 sports stories from ChatGPT in the year 2025? It was not a good list. And when I say it was not a good list, like, I don't think there's anything on it that I would use, because it's very broad, extremely broad stuff.
I have a question for you.
Okay.
Have you ever used ChatGPT for your realtor business?
I have. Absolutely.
Have you ever used ChatGPT for the Rush Radio Show?
Yes. So that's how. That's how it remembers everything. Remembers what dishes I like. Knows that Audrey doesn't like. Oh my gosh, what's one of the things I'm looking for here? Well, Audrey doesn't like spicy stuff, and so it tries to keep spice out of my thing. And then at the end, it'll say, for if you want to add spice, do this at the end, type of thing. So it's interesting. It's interesting, but the top 10 list was not anything we could use. I wasn't looking at it for that. I wasn't like, oh, this will be an easy way to do a show rundown. But I will tell you this: it offered that to me. It said, I can give you a 2-hour show rundown. I can give you topics. It offered to give me a controversial call-in. Like, I'm gonna pull. Can I just pull it up and read it to you?
Sure, sure.
This might take me a minute to get there, so I apologize. But I was asking it for, was just kind of seeing what it could do, and it got a little bit strange. Okay, one of the things it said is it's like trying to tell me how to do a radio show is really odd.
I felt like I was, when you were reading the stuff to me, I felt like I was sitting in a meeting with Greg Chance or Peter Thiel or one of the many program directors that we had that tried to tell us how to do a show.
They
and I'm
weren't
like,
even two of the bad ones. They weren't even two of the bad ones. I remember one guy that I don't even think ever did radio. And we sat down with him and he started telling us like how to do podcasts and we were like, dude, you don't even know what you're talking about.
what was his name? He was a great
I'm not gonna do that.
Okay.
But it says, I asked it for the top 10 sports stories, and it gave me a couple of silly ones. Like one of them and maybe this is something that I'm unaware of, the ChatGPT is. One of them, it said we should talk about the high school sports arms race in Iowa. It says with facilities, training partners, recruiting services, even in small towns, 2025 has made people ask, is Iowa still pure when it comes to prep sports, or is that nostalgia talking? Here's your radio angle. Quote, I'm not kidding. Are we overdoing youth sports even in Iowa? Now, we could talk about that. We talk a lot about youth sports and how youth sports is about one thing and it ain't the kids. But we've never talked about the arms race in Iowa. Is Iowa still pure when it comes to prep sports? Well, I get the opponents of that, the negative on that would point to things like that Iowa Academy that started up. Man, why can't I think of the name of that group, Trav? I'm so sorry.
We had him on, and I mean, and he's got a what, 4, 5, 6, $12 million facility.
Unbelievably beautiful.
Yeah.
Unbelievably.
But that's an arms race for kids coming in from all around the country. That's not necessarily, I mean, you may have an Iowa kid or two on there, but that's more for, you remember the old Oak Hill Academy when kids would go play at Oak Hill Academy and then go on to college after that. That's kind of what they're forming there as players are coming in from all around the country.
So it offers at the end of this, it says, if you want, I can turn this into a segment-by-segment rundown. I can write openers and tossers. I can craft call-in questions or create a controversial top 5 version that really gets the phones lighting up.
Ooh.
I swear to God, this is what it says. This is strong radio. You're not, quote, just asking for recipes anymore. You're building shows. I'm like, what have I opened the door to here? I said, I want to see your call-in questions and your controversial top 5. It says, all right, here are your call-in questions. Number 1, who was the most important athlete in 2025 and why isn't it Caitlin Clark? Who was the most important Iowa athlete? Who was the most important athlete in the state of Iowa in 2025 and why isn't it Caitlin Clark? Dude from Iowa was right. When he just wrote in, he said, it's trying to build an emotional bond. Dude, we haven't even started on it yet. There's creepy stuff. I read this whole thing to Travis this morning. There's some borderline, again, maybe creepy, unsettling is the wrong word, but like it's like building my confidence later. Like, what the
yeah, I mean, Ross got on here this morning and says, man, I'm ugly. Every single day I'm straight. I go, no, you're not. And ChatGPT is going to be telling you you're a handsome man here pretty soon.
Man. Yeah, I feel like every day I come on each other, I go, God, it's not getting any better. Camera. Anyway, so number 2, if Iowa football stays exactly the same for the next 10 years, are you okay with that? We've done that.
We've done that show.
Would you rather have one magical season or 10 years of 8-4? We've done that. Has NIL made you less emotionally invested in college sports? We talk about that almost daily. Is Iowa State football judged more harshly than Iowa football?
No.
I don't think so either. What sport does Iowa do better than anyone else in America? And it says the two you're going to hear are wrestling and women's basketball.
I don't know if that's the truth, though.
Jason says it's grooming you. Johnston is the number 2 ranked team in the nation right now in women's basketball. And Dowling's like 5 or in the top 10, I think. I just saw a ranking on the internet.
I mean, how do you rank high school basketball teams? Because you don't
nationally.
Yeah, I mean, how do you really rank high school teams nationally when they don't get to play each other? Like,
I mean, maybe there's enough AAU. I don't know, Trav, but they do.
Yeah,
they rank everything, dude.
You know why?
Sport is clicks.
Money. They do it for money because they put it on these websites where you have to pay to be, if you want a deeper dive into why they're ranked the way they are, give us $9.99 a month and we'll go ahead and give you the information that we have.
Let me give you the most controversial top 5 sports takes of 2025 from ChatGPT. Number 5, Iowa fans don't actually want change. They want comfort. They complain loudly, but panic when change actually happens. And then it gives you like a little fire emoji with a quote.
Fire.
And I can give you guys a hot take here on that. Iowa fans say they want modern football, but they hate modern football. Iowa wrestling is a victim of its own greatness. We've talked about that. NIL didn't ruin college sports. It exposed fans. We liked amateurism because it benefited us. Fans only loved players until the players had the leverage. Number 2, the best pure athlete in Iowa in 2025 wasn't a football player because, again, they are ChatGPT says it was Caitlin Clark, which I don't think is quite fair, but whatever. She didn't play in the state of Iowa last year. Well, she did one game. Pro tip for you as a host. This is incredible, dude. After a caller finishes, try this line, quote, "That's interesting. Let me ask you this." It says, never debate, always redirect. Let the next caller do the arguing. If you want, I can write a cold open monologue, build a 2-hour show clock, or create a hot take Tuesday version where you intentionally rank these wrong and you let the callers correct you. This is strong, confident radio content.
It sounds not authentic. For us to intentionally do something that we don't believe in is not authentic to me. And where I disagree with ChatGPT on this is it's building a traditional radio show. Since day one, what have I always told you? Let's build a community. Let's not build a show. Let's build a community.
I mean, that is what I read that as is here's how to entice people. If you want to get people to argue, you want to do a Stephen A. Smith show, here's how to do it. Who's, again, extremely talented guy. No, that's not a knock on Stephen A. Smith, just not what I would. Anyway, I thought that was really interesting. Yeah, it was like telling me what a good person I am, how smart I am. It's like, no, Ross, you do great.
I'm going to pat you on the back. It gave you a virtual pat on the back is what it did.
You watch South Park a lot, right?
I do.
Do you remember the shake weight episode?
Oh, yes.
You're doing great. Keep going. Don't stop.
Yes.
You are beautiful.
Now, so Ross kind of teased you. Coming up on New Year's Eve, which is Wednesday, we are coming up with our top 10 sports stories in the state of Iowa. We're going to do that on New Year's Eve. And I don't think many on the Chat GPT are going to be on this. I sent kind of a partial list yesterday.
No.
I kind of like the list that you and I started coming up with. I'm waiting for more input from you, more input from Justin.
Oh, you want input from me?
Yeah, I want input.
All right.
I want input. I can't get all 10. I don't want them all to be mine. I'll give you a little teaser, though, because this is where Ross and I disagree. I said one of the top 10 sports stories in the state of Iowa was the Rush Radio Show and the start of the Rush Radio Show. I said we are one of the top 10 sports stories in the state of Iowa. Would you in the chat agree with that? Us breaking off, going out on our own, would you agree that we deserve to be in the top 10? I believe that.
I told Trav it can only be in his honorable mention.
No, I think it's number 10. I think it's number 10. Look at the people that show up every single day.
And we love our community. We love our community. But
we shook up the broadcast world. Kind of, sort of, maybe.
Can 3 of my stories be Matt Campbell leaves, Rocco Beck leaves, new Iowa State football coach?
I think so. I think it comes down, obviously Matt Campbell's going to be in there, right? I don't know if it's necessarily Rocco Becht as much as it is the Iowa State football team. As of last night, 37 players have gone into the transfer portal. Think about that. 37 players have gone into the transfer portal.
I just counted the list over the weekend. I remember on Saturday, I think I saw a graphic or something, and I counted, and it was like, you 30 what?
37. 17 are starters. So what this means is when you go to Jack Trice Stadium in 2026, you're not going to know one freaking player on the field. There will be no familiarity. And you see a lot of these guys that were seniors or significant players and starters that have 1, 2, 3, some even with 4 years of eligibility left. You are going to have there are no coaches that have been retained. There are 37 players into the portal. 17 of them are starters. It's not like people really know the 3 deep, right? You barely know the 2 deep, and that's okay. Now, there will be some hardcore fans out there that, we're just waiting for this guy. But for the average fan, you're not going to know most of these people. You're just not. It's going to be like, who are we supporting here? And 37. Now, I do have a question, Ross, when it comes to this. We've spent a lot of time in the last week and a half talking about Iowa State and the transfer portal.
Real quick, can I just say, you saying that, dude, as a Hawkeye fan, that depresses me. That makes me sad to hear that.
It makes me sad for any team.
How much momentum there was with Iowa State football. How far they had built that program up from the valley that I saw it in when I was a little kid. And how close they were to getting to some sort of mountaintop, whatever that looks like, to kind of breaking through. They're pushing on that envelope of national prevalence. They're pushing on that envelope of we're somebody. Man, it feels like you ever seen, oh man, what's the Horton Hears a Who?
Yeah.
We are here, we are here, we are here. You chant, chant, chant. You want to be somebody. We're here, we're here, we're here. And it's just, you're pushing on that. The bubble's building, the bubble's building. It's just about to burst through, and then it all deflates. And that it feels like right now that balloon is deflating quickly. And I guess I think about next year and going up there and Cyclone fans getting excited to cheer for a whole new group of dudes. Top to bottom. The entire sideline. Well, and again, we're over-exaggerating here a little bit, but I mean coaches, starters. This is what like Ross wrote this in and says, "I'd love the ISU demise." I know there are a lot of Hawkeye fans that feel that way. There's something about watching this that makes it feel like, oh man, this is knocking at the door for Iowa. Maybe I'm I just don't like to see it because it's a universe. Things are much more fun when Iowa State's good. This is more fun. The back and forth, having Derek from New Sharon call in and bust our chops, and it's more fun when Iowa State is good. And I worry that with how quickly things change in college sports right now, gonna be a really tough job for Jimmy Rogers.
Here's why I don't like it. I didn't like it when it happened to Florida State the year it went unbeaten and then did not get into the college football playoff. And they were depleted for that Georgia bowl game. Remember that? And they got rocked and they only had like 50 available players. I felt sorry for Florida State because it decimated a program and set them back. We all knew there were going to be transfers when Matt Campbell left. I don't think any one of us, and I don't mean to speak for you, but I don't think any one of us, and you can follow up and tell me what you thought it was going to be 37 players.
No, I didn't. No, I didn't. I didn't think it'd be this sort of like a mass exodus. Okay, man, I keep going back to that thing that we saw. Chris Williams put that video out the night that Matt Campbell left, and he was like emotional. And there were some people that were like, "What is happening? This guy, what? Why is he emotional about this?" again, not that Chris had some sort of crystal ball to see all of this happening, but I think Chris had these worst case scenarios. He's an overthinker, chronic overthinker. And part of that is you spin those worst case scenarios in your head. And I think that's why that emotion came out, because he saw stuff like this. As a worst case scenario, I would imagine he saw stuff like this. And then even as I'm a pretty optimistic guy. And as I hear this news right now today, and you hear that many starters, again, give it time. We don't know. Somebody wrote in here exactly the right attitude. Burger McChick. Maybe I like Burger. Sean is his name. Remember, he called in one day. Sean. 37 plus opportunities for other players. That's got to be the attitude. That's got to be the attitude. It's like, all right, here we go. Who's the 37 dudes that want to wear the cardinal and gold? Who are the 37 guys that want to put on our uniform and go fight for us? And let's go. We'll be drunk on Saturday, and they're cheering for you.
But here's what Iowa State probably was not expecting, and that is you have to replace 37 players, right? And you're only going to sign so many as you did with incoming freshmen. You now have to go to the portal, Ross, and probably spend a hell of a lot more money than you had budgeted for, right? You're like, oh, we have X amount of dollars ready to go. Now, you have players that you were playing that you probably don't have to give as much money to, but you still have to go convince people to come to Iowa State, spend money that more than you thought you were going to have to in the portal. You know, Iowa State was probably in a place where we could go in the portal, get 3, maybe 4 guys. Now you're going to have to go get 30.
37.
And that's a big, big hole to fill. It'll be interesting and kind of, and I don't think it's comparing apples to apples. This would be an apples to oranges comparison. But Kyle Whittingham takes the Michigan job, right? Shows up at the bowl game, does his introductory press conference. His number one goal right now is retention. And you have Bryce Underwood, who's a very, very popular quarterback, highly sought after. If he's able to retain the majority of guys on the Michigan team to come back next year, I think that says a lot. What does it say about Jimmy Rogers not being able to retain some of these players? I didn't expect him to retain everybody. We knew there was going to be defections. 37 is a big, big number. Are they not liking what they're hearing? Is there something more here? Again, this is where you and I, when the fact that we see the world completely different can pay off in these conversations, because the Pollyannish view of it that I have, the super optimistic, see the best in everybody, kumbaya thing, is the innocent explanation is, Travis, that you as an 18-year-old kid decided you were going to come play football for Matt Campbell with this group of guys. And you had success and you had fun. And now you're 19 or 20. You've been 2 or 3 years into this process of the thing that you agreed to. Playing for Matt Campbell, playing for that group of coaches with that group of players. And then one day the coaches are gone. And then the next day, 10 of those guys that you've played with are gone. And the next day, another 10 are gone. And the next day, another 10 are gone. There is no feeling left. There's no feeling of, again, but the loyal son forever true thing goes out the window, right? I don't knock these kids for leaving, because the situation that they agreed to be in has changed drastically. I don't know what it says, Trav. I really don't. I don't know if this is just that many guys that are like, man, this is going to be such a different atmosphere next year. I don't even want to be a part of it. Or I don't know. I will say this. If Jimmy Rogers goes 500 next year, he should be the Big 12 Coach of the Year.
I think that would be, yes. Yeah. I mean, it's a lot harder in football, way harder in football than it was for TJ in basketball. It's not about bringing in 3 or 4 guys. 37.
I saw somebody earlier post, and I disagree with this take, and let me explain it out. Going into the portal is one thing. Somebody said that if these guys find there's no other opportunities out there and they want to come back, they shouldn't be allowed back, or they should at least prove or say why they want to come back. I'm like, well, hold on for a second. You have to understand exactly what you just said. It's an emotional time for these guys. They don't know what their future holds, but I don't think you should say, no, you're not welcome here. I think that sends the wrong message.
Completely agree. Can I use an example of when in my realtor life? My broker is my very good friend, Mark Charter, one of my best friends. Love the guy. A couple years ago, Mark was changing things up. We went from Charter House to Agency Iowa. But in that process of making changes, Mark was not even sure what he came to all of us and said, go out and explore your options. I'm going to change the structure of the business here because I want to recruit more agents. And I think if I change some things, I can make it more enticing for agents to be here. But maybe that new system isn't perfect for you. So go out and explore your options. Go talk to other brokers and see if there's something out there that's better for you. And if you come back here and decide that what I'm doing is the best thing for you, you're welcome back with open arms. That, I think, has to be what Iowa State fans have to take the Mark Charter approach here and say, guys, yeah, we get it. Things changed. We loved Matt Campbell as well. Go out and look around. Here's what we hope you find. This is a special community. That you can go and you can be a player for 1 year at one of these universities or 2 years at one of you're not going to have the connection to a community like you do here at Iowa State. Every school's got a fanatical base. Every school has a homegrown organic thing. It is different at Iowa State. It's different at Iowa State than it is at Iowa. The connection that fans have with the players, the way that they celebrate these players well into their professional careers and they're still back in Ames. I mean, George and Halliburton and all those guys that are always, they seem to be a part. Maybe I'm misunderstanding that or missing something. But I think they can make a connection for you that these other schools, you're not going to be able to do that in a year or two. Rev might have hit it on the nail on the head here. Maybe it's the water.
Hooray! That's going way back in time. Way back in time. Do you think Matt Campbell feels a little bad, or do you just totally shut off emotion? You move on to your next job, but you look and you see a program that you built seemingly be dismantled. Do you think he cares at all? He can't come out and say anything because you're now the head coach at Penn State.
Could you imagine if he came out and he was like, "Oh, I'm losing sleep about Iowa State."
Yeah.
And I don't think it would help Iowa State fans either.
No, it'd piss them off.
I think it would. I think it would piss them off if they were like, "You knew what you did to us." So you're right. He can't say anything about it. Do you think he does? How do you feel? He didn't get fired. He left. I think when you get fired, it's easy to be like, "Man, fuck these motherfucker," right? When you leave someplace, I think your heart is still attached a little bit. But Trav, I don't know, dude. We know 1%.
If that.
I don't know. I mean, part of my conspiracy theory brain goes, well, what if in part of those meetings they said, guys, there's nothing here for you. I mean, he has said some things in those press conferences that make it feel like he was kind of itching to get out. You know what I mean? Like, oh, geez, finally, I have some support. We had to build everything. Yeah.
But he's not wrong there. He did a lot with a little and then built up more. But it's always going in the game of today. You're going to need more support monetarily. Support from outside sources. I mean, we had Brad Heinrichs on last week. He's now the guy, and the swarm is staying around. It's not being assimilated by the university yet because like he said, he's in charge of getting money to go above and beyond the cap. Because the university is going to pay you, but there's going to be a need for more money. And the resources, that's what people are going to go for. And you're going to find out who has money and who doesn't. There's a reason Matt Rule stays at Nebraska, doesn't take the Penn State job. There's a reason Dillingham stays at Arizona State.
Kalani Sitake stays at BYU.
Yes. There's a reason for that because there's support there.
What an awesome story that was, dude.
515-517-2303. That's the number to call if you want to chime in on this conversation.
I am curious, Travis, when this portal opens, how many of these guys end up at Penn State, how that affects Iowa State fans' reactions. Because will it impact it? I think it would. I think it would make me a little bit more upset if they all went in, but I don't know. Maybe I
don't think all 37 go to Penn State.
They can't.
But let's say 10 go to Penn State.
How's that make you feel?
Yeah. If it's 3, you go, okay.
Yeah, I'm with you. Yeah. What? So now we got to just put the over-under. What's the number that makes you upset? 7
okay. There it is. Start putting it in there now. You can call it 515-517-2303. The over-under on the number of Iowa State players that end up at Penn State.
We're doing our own Kelsey prediction market right here.
It is the Rush Radio Show powered by Willis Automotive.
The Rush Radio is now on the free TuneIn app, allowing you to enjoy the show on Apple products and Android Auto. Download the free TuneIn app and search The Rush Radio to take Travis and Ross wherever you go.
Bad gift giving. It happens to the best of us.
Thanks, I think.
But what if I told you there's a better way? Toss the silly socks and ditch the mediocre mugs, because the Iowa Lottery's gift that keeps on winning is here to save the holidays. Give your loved ones holiday scratch tickets with a chance to win instantly or unwrap your share of $1 million. Say no to boring presents with the Iowa Lottery this holiday season. Woohoo! Enter and see rules at ialottery.com/VIP.
'Tis the season to share great taste. Grab a refreshing Coca-Cola and make every moment a celebration. Locally made, nationally loved, Coca-Cola is the real deal when it comes to holiday cheer. Whether you're kicking back after the game or hosting the crew, nothing hits like that crisp, fizzy taste. Make this season yours. Grab an ice-cold Coca-Cola today.
With over 260 beers on tap, El Bait Shop isn't just another craft beer bar. It's the best. Beer lovers know. El Bait Shop, 200 Southwest 2nd, Des Moines.
There's a new spin on casual dining near Drake University. Lucky Horse Beer and Burgers. Craveable faves, flatbreads, delicious burgers, frozen cocktails, and a crazy cool vibe. Get to Lucky Horse Beer and Burgers today.
My name's Gary Presnell, and I'm a residential home mortgage banker for Northwest Bank in Des Moines Metro Market. I've been financing people's homes for over 25 years, and I'm an expert in financing VA loans, FHA loans, IFA loans, and new construction homes. This is my cat Norm. Norm knows football, but he doesn't know mortgage. And that's where I come in. There are a lot of Tom, Dick, and Norms out there doing loans. So don't just trust anyone with your home loan. I'm your local, trusted, experienced expert.
Loans. Call Gary at 515-975-6767 or find his profile at nw.bank. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
This holiday season, unwrap incredible savings from Willis Nissan. Drive home a brand new Nissan Rogue or Nissan Sentra with special holiday lease offers designed to fit your budget and your wish list. Looking for the perfect gift for the whole family? Enjoy 0% APR financing on the stunning Nissan Pathfinder and the unparalleled Nissan Murano, making it easier than ever to upgrade your sleigh. Stop into our showroom or visit us online at willisnissan.com.
Hey, it's Noel from Fiscus Jewelers. This holiday season, give the gift of sparkle that lasts a lifetime. From our latest designs to timeless favorites, there's something for everyone on your list. Already have a Fiscus diamond? Bring it in and trade up with our 100% trade up program. It's the perfect way to shine a little brighter this year. And if you're dreaming up something custom, get your design started by December 1st for Christmas delivery. Let's make this season magical together. Fiscus Jewelers, your jeweler for life.
Looking for the perfect golf escape? Experience links-style golf right here in Ames at Coldwater Golf Links. With rolling fairways, large greens, and unique routing, it's golf the way it's meant to be played. Whether you're a seasoned pro or just starting out, you'll love our course's welcoming atmosphere and friendly staff. Grab your clubs, book a tee time, and make every round unforgettable. Coldwater Golf Links, where great golf leads to great memories. Visit coldwatergolf.com to book your round today.
Back to the rush. Strong opinions, weak filters, and just enough sense to stay on the air. It's the Rush Radio Show, powered by Willis Automotive.
Central City Liquors. It has Iowa's biggest selection with great prices on beer, wine, and spirits, friendly staff, hard-to-find bottles, and deals you won't see anywhere else. Stop in to Central City Liquors today. Of course, New Year's Eve, just a couple days away. You're going to want to party. You're going to want to booze it up. And the best place to buy your booze and drink at home is Central City Liquors. All right, so the over-under, Ross Peterson, over-under on the number of Iowa State players that end up at Penn State.
No, that's not what the number is. I want to be clear here. It's the number that will upset Cyclone fans.
Okay.
That's what I was trying to get at. I have no idea what to expect. I really don't. I'm just trying to guess how many of them, what's the straw that breaks the camel's back? Is it Rocco Becht? If Rocco or is that one expected? I think that one a lot of people are kind of expecting to be, right?
I'm going to go out on a limb here. I'm going to say Rocco Becht does not end up at Penn State.
Really? Okay.
I'm going to go out on a limb here, and I'm going to make that prediction.
All right. So then you tell me. Let's start with the first question. Here are live Calcio prediction markets here on the rushradio.com. What is the number of Iowa State players that end up at Penn State?
I'm going to say 5.
Okay. I've seen that number pop around. What's the number that you think would make Iowa State fans go? Because again, we saw this happen over the last couple of days, man. Eventually, Iowa State fans go, enough's enough. I'm sick of it. There's a couple of them, they'll go, okay, turn the other cheek. And then finally they go, this. What's that number? 7? 8? 9?
7 or 8. 7 or 8 will be like, oh, okay, I see. And I also think it depends on who it actually is.
I agree with that. Yeah.
If Rocco Becht does go to Penn State, I might put that number at like 5.
Okay.
If Rocco Becht doesn't go to Penn State, and I have no knowledge here, I'm just making a prediction of saying Rocco Becht has been under Matt Campbell for 3 years. Here's an opportunity to go get maybe different coaching, different technique, get ready for a possible NFL, just to have a different view. Man. And the market for a quarterback is going to be out there. And Rocco Becht is a proven winner who's also mobile. And I think there is a possibility that he ends somewhere else.
I would say real quickly, and I know we weren't going to talk about this, Matt Campbell just needs to carry around tapes of Brock Purdy and like that play last and go, look, you want to be this guy? I can make you this guy. This might be fair. This one's from Steven. He says, I don't think there's a number that'll make Iowa State fans mad that they go to Penn State. No matter where they go, they're gone either way. That's the right attitude, I think. I really do think that's the attitude of like, out of sight, out of mind, man. I'm worried about the next guys that show up here and don't let it upset you. Steven, good job. That's the right attitude.
Let me counter that a little bit. And I also think it depends on January 2nd. Let's say January 2nd, the day the portal opens. You have 5, 6, 7 guys put out their little graphics to say, we are, right? Then you're going to go, hold on for a second. Was there collusion here? Was there tampering here? Was there, hey, this was in the works the day you left?
Backroom deals like this?
Yeah. Now, if it's towards the end of the portal or you wait a couple weeks and you're like, hey, I'm going, it might soften the blow. But if it happens like right away on January 2nd, I also think that stings a little bit. If you're like, all of a sudden, 7 guys, we are. Whoa.
Think there's anybody out there that thinks they are? And then on January 2nd, they're going to send a text that says, hey, coach, I'm coming to Penn State with you. And he writes back, yeah, about that.
By the way, that has happened in some form. Don't know for a fact, but I'm going to go out on a limb to say, hey, coach, I'm in the transfer portal. Can I join you at Penn State? And he's had to say, we don't have room for you.
Well, turns out we got over there to Happy Valley, and here's the weird thing. They got dudes. We started looking at some of the guys that are on that roster, and we went, holy shit. These guys are crazy good. You know how good they're going to be when we get to coach them with a few of our guys sprinkled in here? I just don't. And me again, I think Stephen probably has the right answer. If this were happening to the Hawkeyes, I would hope that I had Stephen's attitude on it, which is I don't give a shit. It could be all 37 that go go. Okay, good luck. Then I can just brag to my Iowa friends when Penn State beats all the Big Ten teams next year because their schedule's shit. We can brag that Iowa State squad would have been Big Ten champions. I mean, I'm again grasping at straws here, but that the attitude should be, I don't care where they go. Good luck to them. If they ever played the Cyclones, I hope Iowa beats the shit out of them.
Ross says most of these players aren't good enough for Penn State. I would disagree with that. I think there's a good number.
Ross, welcome to the program, by the way. Ross said earlier, he's like, I just found this show today. Glad I found you guys. Appreciate your takes. And he's been he jumped right in the deep end on the chat family. So yeah,
no kidding. Welcome
aboard, Ross.
He's a Facebook listener too. And most of them are YouTube listeners, but he's listening on Facebook. I would disagree with that. I think there's quite a number of players that could go, maybe not start, but be part of that 2 deep at Penn State. I mean,
quite a few, though. You're in that 5 to 8 range. You're not talking 20.
No, 5 to 8's that you can build a team around 5 to 8.
Yeah, agreed. Are we? But
as Ross just freezes, there he is,
this, man. Because I just said I want to take Stephen. No. I'm sorry. I was thinking. I'm trying to make sure I get my words. Am I back?
Yeah.
Am I back at all?
Yeah, you're back.
Okay, good. I wasn't freezing on you. I was trying to think. I was just taking a minute to put my words in the right order here. And I think that what I want to say is, do they have to be starters?
No.
Doesn't that sting more? Again, I just said I want to take Stephen's approach and not care and not let it bother me. And it doesn't matter what happens. And I'm just going to turn my back on it. I'm not going to worry about what they do. And then all of a sudden I'm like, wait a minute. What if they do take 7 guys and 3 of them are sitting the bench and playing backup roles? And now you're like, wait, you could have been, it's like the Pink Floyd song, man. You left a walk-on part in the war for a lead role in the cage.
Well, let me change the narrative on you. And that is, you left a lead role in the cage on a team that could finish with a below 500 record, not going to win a Big 12 championship. Or you go to a team that has an easy Big 10 schedule and very well could be competing for the college football playoff and with the possibility of competing for a championship. And you go, I would rather be a backup on a championship team than a starter on a team that may not even go to a bowl game. That's right, the way I would look at it.
All right, Coach, you sold me. I'm coming to Penn State. We don't have a spot for you. Oh, shit. Now what? Call Jamie Pollard.
Now, we brought this up last week, and somebody brought it up earlier as they were talking online, and that is Penn State only signed 2 in the signing period. So there are spots open, and there may be more Penn State players that go into the transfer portal now that the bowl game is over. And once that opens on January 2nd, you still may have more defections. But I guarantee Matt Campbell has spent a lot of time in the last couple weeks trying to retain the guys he wants to retain. Having Terry Smith there, that was a brilliant move by Pat Kraft. And for Matt Campbell to go, yes, I want Terry Smith here, who took over as interim head coach, a lot of players like him, knowing that he's going to stay around, I think builds a lot of credibility with Terry Smith, with Matt Campbell, and with current players going, oh, well, if Terry wants to work for him, then maybe we want to play for him.
That's good.
And when you lose every assistant coach, as Iowa State has, your position coach means a lot to you. I mean, means a lot. You spend a lot of time with those position coaches. Now you're like, I don't know anybody. I got to basically win my job back, or I got to get to know somebody. I don't know what this is going to be like. I'm not saying we like this. It is the reality of it. I do hope that this is going to make some people mad, but I do hope that the Iowa kids that are on Iowa State that went in the portal, call Kirk Ferentz and say, do you got a spot for me? I'd love to stay in the state. I'd love to play at Iowa.
Man,
I'd be okay with that.
I mean, I've seen some people in the chat talk about that too. Like, hey, the better question is how many end up at Iowa? How many piss you off if they end up at Iowa?
Somebody said that it's now up to 38. I started with 37. I guess it's up to 38 now. That's almost half your team.
I mean, did you say 17 starters, Travis?
Yeah. And 19 if you include the long snapper and one of the returners.
Wait and see. It's really easy right now to fall into the doom and gloom. Like, even me as a Hawkeye fan, I'm like, oh, this is bad. Wait and see.
Everybody's saying, Rocco could be the first quarterback to win both sides of the Cyhawk. I don't think Rocco Beck's going to Iowa.
I saw somebody put that earlier. They're like, oh, yeah, he saw what Mark Gronowski did in his final year of eligibility. He's going to go to Iowa.
If Rocco Beck does not end up at Penn State, he's going to end up on a team in the SEC, the ACC.
Dude, I'm amazed more of these kids aren't ending up at Catholic institutions with how many of them are Christians and Catholic. And it's nice. I saw one of my buddies sent me a message the other day, and he was like, you know what's funny about all these kids in the transfer portal? Not an atheist to be found.
Because every one of them, thank God.
Every one of them. God's been given a lot of advice on where kids should be going to school lately.
I got news for you. Jesus doesn't care where you play. Just saying. Just saying.
Why do all the graphics have like the one part that's in different colors? Why is this? Whoever's in charge of all these graphics, whoever's doing this for these kids, because it's got to be coming from some template. They all look exactly the same. Why is that one? Why is there always that one part that's in different color? Sometimes it's the part that's like, I want to thank the Iowa State fans, and sometimes it's the part of, after long reflection with my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ, or it's the, with that being said. Can anybody answer that? What am I missing there? Or is that
maybe it's the part they really want you to read? Oh, let's read the colored part. That must be the most important part. I saw that earlier that Cy has entered the transfer portal. I saw that like the mascot has said, I'm out of here.
Dude, so let's get into this, because I've seen a lot of this today too. And Ryan, I don't mean to pick on, or no, I'm not going to pick on you. I'm just going to pull your comment out because yours is the latest one I saw. And while I want to get to this here before we get to the 7:00 hour, I've seen a lot of people pointing the finger at Jamie Pollard. Why isn't anyone blaming the person who did all of this, Jamie Pollard? And Ryan, I'm not being a dick here. Could you call in and explain what you mean, or people that are angry with Jamie Pollard about this? Is it the Slytown thing? Is it like,
no? I think it's not promoting from within to retain.
Okay.
Promoted Taylor Mauser to head coach, or one of the or a Heacock even, right? Go, hey, you know what? You're a bit of stability here.
Yeah.
Can you be the head coach?
Carry the baton to somebody else for a while.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. I've seen a lot of people that are like pissed off at Jamie Pollard for it. And I'm like, man, I don't know what people are mad about. Is it mismanagement of funds? Is it not promoting the NIL in the right way, or building an NIL fast enough or good enough?
I think what Iowa State did with the We Will, I think Iowa State has done about as good a job as they could have with NIL funds. And Brent Bloom worked his tail off to keep Rocco Beck and some other players and basketball players at Iowa State. And you have to get, and Matt Campbell bought into that. I thought Jamie Pollard bought into that. But you only have so much giving. What happens, Ross, is when you get mad and you don't want to be mad at the players, you look for other people to blame. And usually you blame the CEO.
This is Bill Blank always hating the officials.
Yes.
He refuses to be mad at the players. He refuses to really be mad at the coaches. So his outlet for shaking his fist at authority is the officials. Wow. Okay. I would, again, 515-517-2303. If you can, I won't fight with you. I like Jamie Pollard. I think what he's done at Iowa State has been unbelievable. The transformation that he's overseen has just been incredible. I think a lot of us, including me, don't know what an athletic director's job really is. It's not to win championships.
No, it's to raise money and to make sure your coaches are on the same page. Dude from Iowa may be answering a little bit. He says he fell victim to thinking what worked once would work again. TJ Blueprint became Rodgers' hire. Well, hold on for a second. You cannot judge the Rodgers hire yet. You can't. You don't know that it's not going to work. You don't know if a coaching hire has worked for about 3 to 4 years. All right? I'm not going to be judgmental against Jimmy Rodgers. I'm not going to be judgmental against Jamie Pollard. Jamie Pollard has a pretty good track record of hiring coaches. And even Steve Prohm was a pretty darn good coach until he wasn't. Paul Rhodes was a pretty darn good coach until he wasn't. But give Jamie Pollard credit. He understood when they weren't anymore, and he made fast, decisive change. Gene Chizik was a good hire. Say what you want. You can be mad at Gene Chizik, but at that time, going to Auburn and going to win a national title was the right move. It was. Auburn was a better job. It was one of those jobs you don't turn down. I'm not saying it's that way now, but at the time when it happened, but Gene Chizik was a surprise hire when he did it. And you're like, wow, okay. Paul Rhodes at the time was the right hire, had the Ankeny roots, had that, loved Iowa State, beat Nebraska at Nebraska, got to a bowl game. His emotions got the best of him.
I guess dude, I would think following the TJ blueprint would be exactly what Iowa State fans would have wanted. Hire a guy that loves the university, that really attaches to the community, wants to be there, has had success at the lower levels. It's going to be a different job. I'm with you. There has to be a wait and see thing on the Rodgers side of things. You've got to give it time, and it's a mess. Let him pick the pieces up and start to build the Lincoln logs and see if the guy can get a cabin in a couple years. But
I mean, how many times have we seen guys take over programs that were in a good spot and absolutely ruin them, or weren't in a horrible spot, but you thought that's the right hire? Scott Frost, right? You're like, that's the right hire. That's going to be a home run for Nebraska. Wasn't a home run when you thought culturally it was going to be. There have been coaches who like, all you have to do is keep the ship going in the same direction, and it doesn't happen.
We'll see.
Yes, and that's why I refuse to put this. Hurts right now, and but it's still the ship of Theseus that you're still gonna have.
Nailing it. You're nailing it.
You may think the ship has been destroyed and there's no pieces left. Oh, there's a sliver. There's a sliver, and you can build off that and keep it the way it is.
And by the way, someday that sliver will be gone. You're not rooting for the parts. You never were. You never were rooting for the parts. You were rooting for the ship. And the parts are going to change constantly. And eventually you're going to be looking at a ship that doesn't have any of the same parts. We all do it. There's nobody left in the Iowa athletic department from 1978. Maybe there's a secretary, somebody somewhere. I doubt it. The entire thing has turned around. What hasn't changed? My logo on my shirt. The same Iowa State fans that rooted for Jim Walden are going to root for Jimmy Rodgers. And all the parts have changed, and you're rooting for the ship, not the parts. And the pieces are changing really quickly right now. It's easy to look at it and go, that ship's going to sink. You can't change that many parts on a ship out on the water. What are you doing? Give it time. And Nick's comment is the thing I think that you and I are both aware of. And that I've talked to a lot of Hawkeye fans who have had this same attitude. Nick says, wait till this happens at Iowa. And I don't know, maybe I'm reading that with the wrong tone, Nick. I'm not sure if you're an Iowa State fan or not, so I shouldn't have done that. But he just says, wait till this process happens at Iowa. That's exactly what I keep thinking as a Hawkeye fan. I'm watching this happen to my neighbor's house. And I'm going, oh, shit. The big bad wolf is at the door. It's not quite the same with Iowa and Iowa State. They are different ships in the same sea there, but it could happen. And Nick's comment is why I kind of have the tone I do of like, oh, this sucks. Why does it suck? It's the team that you don't root for. Yeah, because I know it could happen to the team I do root for.
And I also think you have to see how Iowa plays out. If they promote from within, you won't have 37 defections. You'll have defections. You'll lose players when Kirk Ferentz goes someplace. That's just a natural. Will it be 37? Only time will tell. Only time will tell. 515-517-2303. That first hour was not brought to you by ChatGPT. Oh, no. If you wonder why I said that because you joined late, you have to go back to the beginning of the show and check it out. We got an hour in the books. We got an hour to go. It's good to have you along on a Monday. The last week of 2025. We'll hit 2026 later on. Coming up on New Year's Eve, the top 10 sports stories in the state of Iowa of 2025. That's how we're going to spend it. See if you agree with us or you don't. It is the Rush Radio Show, powered by Willis Automotive.
The Rush Radio is now on the free TuneIn app, allowing you to enjoy the show on Apple products and Android Auto. Download the free TuneIn app and search The Rush Radio to take Travis and Ross wherever you go.
Bad gift giving. It happens to the best of us.
Thanks, I think.
But what if I told you there's a better way? Toss the silly socks and ditch the mediocre mugs, because the Iowa Lottery's gift that keeps on winning is here to save the holidays. Give your loved ones holiday scratch tickets with a chance to win instantly or unwrap your share of $1 million. Say no, no, no to boring presents with the Iowa Lottery this holiday season. Woohoo! Enter and see rules at ialottery.com/VIP.
Your house wasn't built for bats, birds, or raccoons, but try telling them that. At Bats and Bugs Pest Solutions, we've been helping Iowans take back their homes for over 20 years. We use cost-effective, eco-friendly methods to solve wildlife and pest problems the right way. Whether it's bats in your attic, birds in the vents, raccoons in your chimney, or moles in your yard, we have long-term solutions. Call Bats and Bugs Pest Solutions today at 515-218-3400, and let's make sure your home doesn't become their home.
There's more Iowa in the Iowa Tap Room than you may realize. Housed in a building nearly as old as Iowa itself, the Iowa Tap Room greets you with a harvest of 120 Iowa craft beers on tap from all corners of the state. And the food doesn't get much more Iowa than this. The Iowa Tap Room, all Iowa beer, one amazing place.
There's always something new at Fong's Pizza and an ever-changing menu of tiki drinks. Or try our new noodle dishes alongside your favorite slice. It's all happening at the new Fong's in the East Village.
Thinking about buying a home? Get pre-approved in 30 minutes with Gary Presnell at Northwest Bank in Des Moines. Gary offers first-time home buyers programs, VA, FHA, IFA, and conventional loans. Call Gary at 515-975-6767 or find his profile at nw.bank. Member FDIC Equal Housing Lender.
Start spreading the news, 'cause it's time to buy booze, and there's only one place to be. You can see all your friends, the good times never end, unless you're just loitering. It's Central City, we can make your dreams come true. No guarantee your dreams will come true. Central City, all this booze is waiting for you. Look at all this booze.
A fuel choice that even rivals can agree on? Now that's worth the hype. Cheaper, cleaner, and homegrown. Pump it up with unleaded 88.
Hi, I'm Sean McFarland, Service Manager here at Mini of Des Moines. If you're looking for the perfect gift for your Mini this season, you won't find it under the Christmas tree. What your Mini really wants this holiday season is preventative maintenance. Stop in today so we can make sure your coolant or fuel system are in tip-top order for this holiday season. Please give us a call to schedule your appointment or visit us online at miniofdesmoines.com.
For the holidays, bring real taste to the table with Gold Peak Real Brewed Tea. Made with real tea leaves and real cane sugar, Gold Peak delivers a golden, brewed for taste flavor that makes every moment more meaningful. Whether you're gathering with family or friends, celebrate the moments that matter the most, because real connections deserve real refreshment. For your upcoming holiday celebrations, choose Gold Peak Tea and bring real taste to the table.
Like a rash you thought was gone. Travis and Ross aren't contagious, but they are addictive. It's the Rush Radio Show, powered by Willis Automotive.
Oh, Trav, we can't hear you, bud.
Since you are listening to the Rush Radio Show right now, we know you are making smart decisions in your life, and that includes making a smart decision on where you buy your car. Willis Automotive is your go-to for quality vehicles and even better service. New ride, used ride, familiar hauler, or something fun, find it at willisauto.com. The Rush Radio Show, powered by Willis Automotive. If you're listening on the audio stream at therushradio.com, the Rush Radio Android app, or the TuneIn app, thank you so much. Watching on YouTube or Facebook, go ahead and hit subscribe. Leave your comments in the comments section. Of course, follow us on our social media channels. My name is Travis Justice. He is Ross Peterson. What's going on?
Nothing. Perusing the internet during the break, found a funny story. If you failed Christmas, if you were a huge disappointment on Christmas Day, like I was to most of the people that I love, it's not too late. You too can save Christmas with a late Christmas gift. Who wouldn't want to walk around in the new Columbia Company patriotic curling wear that they've the clothing brand has unleashed a special sportswear for the upcoming Winter Olympics for the Team USA curling. It's got a lot of cool features. There's a bunch of hidden little designs on it. There's 250 stars to mark the 250 years of American history. Inside the jackets, athletes will find a patch where they can write their names and a note wishing them luck. What's that? Find a patch where they can write their names?
A patch?
Make the Olympics and it feels like third grade. Here you go. Here's a coat for you. We didn't know you were going to make the team, so we didn't put your name on it. We just left a patch in there so you can write your own.
John,
if lost, please return to. There you go.
We brought this up a couple weeks ago, but it's looking bad for Italy in the Olympics. They are not getting their facilities done. Construction is behind schedule. The ice still isn't down in the ice rink. Don't be surprised if the NHL steps in and says none of our players are going to play in the Olympics, which would be a setback. Huge.
The primary ice arena doesn't have a big enough sheet. They didn't measure the ice. The arena's the wrong size. Everything's fine. Everything's fine. Look away.
Don't pay attention to the man behind the curtain.
Everything will be fine. We're gonna have curling. We'll have luge.
Well, you may have luge. Downhill skiing right
luge
now.
Are also in trouble?
Everything's in trouble. The snow machines aren't working. They're not functionable. They're worried about the downhill skiing. Now watch. They'll pull this off and they'll say, this was the greatest Olympics ever. Look at what we were able to do. And I'll be like, whatever.
Nailing it. That's exactly. NBC will be like, oh, the way they were able to overcome all this adversity. It's truly a triumph of the nation of Italy. Shows the resilience of the Italian spirit.
True Olympians in every sense of the word. Yep. A Herculean effort to pull these games off.
Locals say no other country could have pulled this off. You get all this Donald Trump stuff thrown at you. I mean, basically, we're the only country that could have done this. We're the only ones. Nobody's ever done Winter Olympics before.
I think you just pick one spot and have the summer and winter games there all the time. You have the infrastructure, just knowing that every 4 years you're going to host it. Make the improvements.
Again, man, I think that you do it sport specific around the world. We've talked about this a lot, but Tony nailed it. Who's the Italian Mitt Romney that rescues the Olympics? You're nailing it, Tony. Have these things where it matters. Wouldn't it be cool if the Olympic wrestling happened at Carver Hawkeye Arena?
Now, Penn State may step in and say, hold on.
Or Oklahoma State, or wouldn't that be freaking cool? If they said, hey, St. Louis, you do the you guys kill it with the NCAA wrestling thing. What if we did Olympic wrestling there? And you had 15 or 18,000 people inside of the arena come on. Now imagine that with every sport. Wherever luge is popular.
That would be Norway.
There you go.
Yeah, we're going to Norway for the luge competition. Or the bobsled. Like bobsled and luge are going to be in Norway or one of those Nordic countries, right?
I mean, as a kid from the Midwest that sledded as a child, didn't luge and bobsled always seem kind of fun and cool to you?
Yeah, because you're like, that's a fast sled. I want to be on a toboggan. And then you would get your toboggan or you'd get your flyer and you'd be like, okay, I'm going to mimic.
The flyer was the thing. The steel rails, that felt like you were on the luge. But if you didn't have just the right snow, the steel would cut right through the soft snow and you'd just be stuck.
And you could only use that in maybe an inch or two of snow. You got much more than that, you just came to a screeching halt.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Yeah.
What you really needed were streets that weren't properly plowed. They were plowed, but snowpacked. And then you had that layer of ice, and you're like, yeah, this is what I can go on. This is what I can do.
Travis, did you ever bumper slide?
No.
Never did that, huh? I had a Chevy S10 when I was a kid. And we did a lot of that around the Sheridan Park neighborhood. Because it was just that. It's kind of an offshoot neighborhood. Plows would get to it late. Once the plows got to it, that next day you'd have this sheen of ice. And so one guy would drive the truck and a bunch of other guys would hold on to the tailgate or the box of the truck and you'd bumper slide. You'd literally just hold onto the bumper and your feet would slide along the ice.
That sounds dangerous.
Very. It was fun.
You're like Marty McFly riding the skateboard on the back.
Yeah, and you had to watch out for dry spots because, man, if you're skidding along and you hit street, you're going to eat it.
Wonder how many people died bumper sliding?
Probably a couple. Sure, there were major injuries. We got lucky. Knock on wood. Don't remember anybody getting hurt doing that. But it was fun.
I actually sat yesterday and watched an entire NFL game. I sat and watched the Browns and Steelers. And say what you want about Shedeur Sanders.
Okay.
He was 17 of 23 yesterday, 186 yards, one touchdown. He had two picks. One wasn't his fault. It was a deflection. It wasn't his fault. The other one was a really bad pick. But say what you want about Shedeur Sanders. He's gotten better like every single game, Ross. I could see people going, you know what, maybe this is our quarterback. Maybe with the years of getting experience, reading defenses, he's got athleticism. He can run with the football. I actually looked at him and went, Okay, you got a good defense. That defense yesterday was impressive against the Steelers. Aaron Rodgers was bad yesterday. He was bad. And he had a chance on the final drive to at least tie the game up. Passes were off. He blamed the officials on the last play of the game. But it was a blown opportunity for the Steelers, because if they won yesterday, they would have won the AFC North. They would have locked that up. Now it's all going to come down to Sunday Night Football against the Ravens in Pittsburgh. But I look at Shedeur Sanders, where everybody doubted him, went all the way down the draft, and I don't have a problem with how far he fell. There were plenty of questions about Shedeur Sanders. But to start as number 3, to bide your time, the injuries play a fact, and you're like, oh, God, we're at a Shedeur Sanders. And you go, okay, let's see what he can do. Now, the Browns only have 4 wins now?
Yeah, they're 4-12 on the season.
4-12. But Shedeur Sanders is not Cleveland's problem. He's actually impressed me. And it's just another example of how some guy can start number 3 on the depth chart, work his way up. Now, he didn't have the rookie season that Brock Purdy did, but Brock Purdy gets the mega contract. And last night, dude, in the last couple of weeks, Brock Purdy is
fantastic.
Fantastic.
Last night, he has a play that is an all-timer. He has a scramble that is a Steve Young-esque, staying alive, avoiding defenders, juking a dude, throwing for a touchdown. And it's a funky little touchdown. Brock Purdy, the obvious answer to that is Brock Purdy went to a way different situation than Shedeur Sanders did. Shedeur Sanders is playing for the worst organization in professional sports history. Up there with the LA Clippers and some other bad organizations. But it's a totally different mix. Brock Purdy has been fantastic and has done it, but he went to a different situation.
Isn't it funny, though, how the narrative on Brock Purdy has changed? Meaning his rookie year when he's a system guy.
Oh,
he just fits. He's a system. Brock Purdy, he's Mr. Irrelevant. The only reason he's successful is because he's a system guy.
He's got McCaffrey. He's got Debo. He's got this defense. Any quarterback could step in and do that. Then you watch plays like last night and you go, man, it looks like an MVP play. I'm not saying Brock Purdy's the NFL MVP. What I'm saying is that's the type of plays that build that resume. It was a fantastic game. And you're right, not just one play, not just 1 week. He's been really good lately.
What do you have? 5 touchdown passes last week, 3 last night.
What am I saying lately? He had a couple of games that he wasn't fantastic. He's been so.
But you like to see, but this is what you want to see when you make an investment in somebody, right? Because you are getting paid on past performance in hopes that past performance equals future performance. And that doesn't always pan out. We see a lot of guys get the big contract and you're like, what happened to you?
Yep.
And people want more out of Brock Purdy next season, the season after that, and the season after that. But you look at it and go, man, you're 24 of 33, 303 yards, 3 touchdowns. You threw a pick. You were quarterback rating of what, 118, I think it was?
I had that one up here. Let me see if I can get over there to it real quick for you. I'm falling behind on you. Sorry. I had that box score up, but then I went over to the Browns. Sorry.
Now, there's a lot on the line for the 49ers coming up on Saturday night. They're going to host the Seahawks. We'll have Justin on a little bit. He'll be fired up for that game. Winner takes it all, right? And if the 49ers win, they win the division. They get home field throughout the playoffs, which would also include the Super Bowl. Because the Super Bowl is at Levi Stadium this year. Now, do I think the 49ers are the best team in the NFC? No. Their defense needs to get a lot better. They did make the crucial stop last night, but you can't give up 38 points.
Yeah, Seahawks and the Niners are the only two that have a chance of that number 1 seed. So that game, that game before that. Who is the best team in the NFC?
I think the Rams are pretty darn good.
Last night, Eli's best friend Ryan was over for dinner last night, and walked in, and he goes, "Ross, how are the Bears going to do in the playoffs?" I said, "I don't know." "Do you think they can win the Super Bowl?" I said, "I don't know. I don't know. I don't know who the best team in the NFC is."
How about this? Is there a best team in football?
49ers could be the 1 seed, right? Do you know what they are right now? If playoffs started today, do you know what they'd be? The 6th seed.
That's how important Saturday night's game is, because if you lose that, you win your home field throughout, which includes the Super Bowl. You lose, you drop down into the wild card, and I think on the road,
I think you could see 6 teams, and again, not counting the Bucs or Panthers, you could see the Seahawks, Bears, Eagles, Rams, Niners, the Packers. I think I wonder if Packers fans, how they're feeling about it. But I could see that. I don't know who the best team in the NFC is. Justin will say the Seahawks.
I don't know if there's a best team in foot. The Patriots are up there. Patriots are good. I think the NFL playoffs are going to be, and the Super Bowl is going to be interesting this year. Last year, you knew it was the Chiefs. You knew it was the Eagles. I don't know if there was one clear-cut best team in football right now.
I think I have realized that I didn't actually hate the Patriots. I just hated Bill Belichick, because I don't hate the fact that the Patriots are one of the best teams in the AFC. It's like, oh, that's that team I used to hate.
No, you're okay with them now because they went through a relatively short, but they did go through a down period to where they weren't dominating. It's kind of like the Chiefs. I saw somebody earlier like, thank God we don't have Chiefs talk, because that's all you've been talking about the last several years. Patrick Mahomes, Travis Kelce, the Chiefs are going to be in the Super Bowl. Familiarity breeds contempt. It does it at every level of every sport. You can go to a high school level. If there's a high school team that dominates, you're sick and tired of that team coming to Wells Fargo, and dominate.
See Dowling, see Southeast Polk.
Yeah.
See Valley for a while. When you win, people go, winners.
Cheaters.
Stupid winners.
Cheaters.
Must be cheating if they're better than us.
No, they just...
story. Brian nails it. This is the Vrabel redemption story. The Cheatriots. That's good.
But the NFL, even though it's the most popular sport, is kind of getting like the other sports for me. Sports I follow regularly are college basketball and college football, right? I usually jump on Major League Baseball right at the playoffs. Usually jump on the NBA right at the playoffs. And kind of now with the NFL, I find myself getting more interested in the NFL now that we're closer to the playoffs. Yeah. And I know I shouldn't be, because every game in the NFL matters. And with 18 games as opposed to how many they play in Major League Baseball and the NBA and the NHL, you can kind of take a break. But it's hard just to keep up with everything. I'm like, I'm going to devote my time to college football and college basketball.
Steelers, if you had to pick a favorite team, it's the Steelers, right?
Mine, yeah. I mean, your childhood plays such an impact on what you are as a fan. So I grew up a Yankees fan, right? I was a Yankees fan because they were winning when I was a child. I grew up a Steelers fan because they were winning as I was a child. Franco Harris, Terry Bradshaw, Lynn Swann, Jack Lambert, Mean Joe Green. I mean, you can go through it all. Rocky Blyer. So when you have that, you're like, and you don't have a pro team in your area, you're like, I'm going to support the Steelers. And I kind of knew. Now I was a Steelers fan before I was probably a Hawkeye fan, but it was right around that time that Hayden Fry came in, and you're like, you mimic the colors too. You're like, you look like the Steelers. Yeah. And he did that on purpose. He created those uniforms to look like the Steelers on purpose.
Travis, I don't even know what the Hawkeyes looked like before that.
Did it have the Iowa script, or was it the Hawkeye?
Oh, that's right. I've seen the Iowa. Yeah, that's true. Yeah. I don't even remember what. That's my whole life. It was Hayden Fry and Kirk Ferentz.
Yeah. Now I can tell you a number of Iowa State helmets that I could go through my lifetime. But I'm with you. You go back prior to Hayden Fry coming, I don't remember what Iowa looked like.
to your point that your youth matters, if I had to pick a favorite football NFL team, it's the Bears. And it's because of Walter Payton and Matt Suey,
Jim McMahon.
Jim McMahon, the Fridge. When you're a kid and there's a dude named the Fridge, Richard Dent on defense. Mike
there's a name.
Mike Singletary. That was the dude. Remember, he'd stand there and he'd be like,
his eyes
would, oh man. He can see.
Dude, have you watched the Elway documentary on Netflix yet?
I started it last night, fellas. That's what I turned on and fell asleep watching last night. So I know I have not, because I fell asleep pretty quick.
Couple things I took away from that. One, watch the highlights from when he started in 1983, 84. There are hits that you're like, that's why we all love the National Football League. You're like, how is John Elway still alive or not suffering from major CTE right now? Because they are brutal hits. And you're like, thank God for NFL Films. Thank you so much, NFL Films.
There used to be this viral thing that floated around, Trav, and it was like the old beginning of the NFL Films show. It was like, the little 15-second, and it would show these different clips. And the viral thing was like, every one of these is a penalty. Every one of these highlights is now a penalty in the NFL. And it was. It's dudes getting just destroyed.
Dr. Rob and I were talking about this last night. I go, what? Because I was telling him about the documentary. And and this is the first thing I brought up. He goes, dude. He goes, back when I played for the Giants, he goes, blindside hits were still legal. He goes, I feel bad, but he goes, I had one opportunity. He goes, we're playing the Cowboys. He goes, my job on pass protection was to block off and then go peel off and destroy anybody who was going to get to the quarterback. And he looks to his right, and there's Charles Haley. And he goes, he didn't see me. And I waylaid him. He goes, and I knocked him out of the game. He goes, now, Charles Haley he's a Hall of Famer, right? Has how many Super Bowls with how many different teams? But he goes, that's my most memorable. He goes, but if I did that today, I'm getting flagged and it's not happening.
Yeah.
The other thing I learned, well, the other thing was they talked about his final game at Stanford. And I did not know that the final game for John Elway at Stanford, do you know what it is?
Oh, is it the band on the field?
It's the band on the field. Yes. It is the band. And a lot of people think it's the Cal band that's on the field. It's the Stanford band because John Elway had led them to a touchdown. There was like 10 seconds left. They were coming on to celebrate. And then Cal runs it back, and it's the trombone player that gets it. But one thing that's not talked about when you see that on a yearly basis.
Tomahawk chops the trombone player.
But one thing that's not talked about is that was John Elway's final college game. I did not know that.
Huh.
And and watching the draft coverage, oh my God.
Well, hold on. Do they because you haven't talked at all yet about his time with didn't he get drafted by the Yankees?
Yes. Yeah, he played 1 year for the Yankees. They paid him like $100 and some thousand to play summer ball, and then it was always an option because he told Baltimore, don't draft me. I'm not going to Baltimore. They tried to keep it respectful. And then Jim Irsay's dad, they didn't want to play. What it really comes down to, they didn't like the Irsay family. It kind of comes out, because Jim Irsay, who just passed away, had a bit of an addiction problem, might have got it from his old man. His old man was kind of a weird guy. But they kept saying, don't draft us. We're not coming. And he had the baseball thing in his pocket, right? And as soon as he was drafted, they came out and said, we're not going. We're going to go play baseball, and we're going to enter the draft next year. And then the Colts kind of realized, oh, he's serious. So they traded him to Denver, worked out a deal. His first NFL game, I believe, or second, might have been second or third, was in Baltimore. And it didn't go well. A lot of people.
I'm going to watch it.
Yeah, it's a really, really good documentary. But just watching the hits, you're like, oh my God, these are all illegal today.
I'll watch it.
But this is why we all fell in love with the National Football League, because it was just brutal. Just a brutal, brutal sport. You know, when you could actually hit a quarterback, you watch some of the hits he's taking, you're like, that's not flying.
Totally different game. There's an article on the Washington Post today about the rule changes in sports and how it's affected over the last 30, 40 years. They say baseball is the number one. Having this conversation, I realize it's football.
Yeah. Because baseball, the sport, hasn't changed that much. Sure, you've got the pitch clock.
Intricacies.
Yeah. Football, the way you hit, the way you got to protect guys, that's a completely different ball game.
Can we take a timeout?
What's that?
Can we take a timeout here?
Absolutely, we can take a timeout. If you want to take a timeout. If you need to get out, I've got something to read, so... Hey, don't forget, coming up on Friday, it is the Iowa Lottery Weekly Woo-Hoo. Celebrating the holidays with a gift that keeps on winning promotion. You can win some scratch tickets to go along with it all. It's a prize pack valued at $90. That's right. This week's prize pack includes the Holly Jolly holiday-themed scratch tickets, 7 holiday scratch games, and 2 Instaplay tickets that are part of the Play It Again promotion called The Gift That Keeps on Winning. You must be a VIP club member to enter your non-winning tickets into this promotion. If you're not a VIP, you can sign up for free at iowalottery.com/VIP. The Iowa Lottery, good partner of the Rush Radio Show, powered by Willis Automotive. For the holidays, bring real taste to the table with Gold Peak Real Brewed Tea. Made with real tea leaves and real cane sugar, Gold Peak delivers a golden, brewed for taste flavor that makes every moment more meaningful. Whether you're gathering with family or friends, celebrate the moments that matter the most, because real connections deserve real refreshment. For your upcoming holiday celebrations, choose Gold Peak Tea and bring real taste to the table.
Bad gift giving. It happens to the best of us.
Thanks, I think.
But what if I told you there's a better way? Toss the silly socks and ditch the mediocre mugs, because the Iowa Lottery's gift that keeps on winning is here to save the holidays. Give your loved ones holiday scratch tickets with the chance to win instantly or unwrap your share of $1 million. Say no, no, no to boring presents with the Iowa Lottery this holiday season. Woohoo! Enter and see rules at ialottery.com/VIP.
Wasn't built for bats, birds, or raccoons, but try telling them that. At Bats and Bugs Pest Solutions, we've been helping Iowans take back their homes for over 20 years. We use cost-effective, eco-friendly methods to solve wildlife and pest problems the right way. Whether it's bats in your attic, birds in the vent, raccoons in your chimney, or moles in your yard, we have long-term solutions. Call Bats and Bugs Pest Solutions today at 515-218-3400, and let's make sure your home doesn't become their home.
This December, unwrap big savings at Willis Chevrolet of Granger. We've got our largest inventory of vehicles ever. New, pre-owned, and now Car Bravo certified. The gifts keep coming with the season's most sought-after Chevys, the Trax, and the all-new Traverse, in stock right now and ready to drive home for the holidays. And don't miss the red tag sale with 0% APR financing on select models. It's a perfect time to slay your savings. Hurry into Willis Chevrolet of Granger or visit us online at willischevy.com.
A fuel choice that even rivals can agree on? Now that's worth the hype. Pump it up with Unleaded 88.
Hey, it's Noel from Fiscus Jewelers. This holiday season, give the gift of sparkle that lasts a lifetime. From our latest designs to timeless favorites, there's something for everyone on your list. Already have a Fiscus diamond? Bring it in and trade up with our 100% trade-up program. It's the perfect way to shine a little brighter this year. And if you're dreaming up something custom, get your design started by December 1st for Christmas delivery. Let's make this season magical together. Fiscus Jewelers, your jeweler for life.
The largest selection of German beer in the world? You'll find it at the Hessen House. From Doppelbocks to Oktoberfest to Hefeweizens and Dunkels. There's no passport needed for the deliciously different beer and food at the Hessen House. So grab your friends and make it a fun night out. The The Hessen House, 4th and Court, Des Moines.
Hi, I'm Tom, owner at Central City Liquors. Our customers love us because we offer a large selection at an affordable price. And to keep costs low for you, we don't splurge on fancy promotions and expensive equipment. This commercial is being shot on a phone taped to a stick. Anyway, we are proud to announce our new rewards program that allows customers to save more the more they buy. Whoop. So don't spend more to pay for fancy commercials. Save at Central City, where we know what's important. I told you we should have used duct tape.
Hi everyone, it's Marion with Willis. Christmas is coming up and that means traveling to see your family. You can't see your family if you can't see the road, and you can't see the road with old wiper blades. So come on down to Willis to get $10 off a set of wiper blades with the purchase of an oil change for the whole month of December. Give us a call or schedule online at willisvolvocars.com.
Back like a rash you thought was gone. Travis and Ross aren't contagious, but they are addictive. It's the Rush Radio Show, powered by Willis Automotive.
In Iowa, we grow corn, but the truth is corn grows Iowa. Corn grows feed for our livestock, food for our families, and clean-burning fuel for your drive anywhere in the new year. Drive with clean, unleaded 88 and support Iowa corn farmers. Go to iowacorn.org to pump it up with unleaded 88. Because I put it on the thumbnail, I suppose we got to talk about it. Iowa and Iowa State are back in action today after some layoffs.
Are they?
Sure.
the teams play. There's a competition.
Iowa plays at 4 o'clock at Carver Hawkeye. They play UMASS-Lowell. I actually had to go, UMass-Lowell has a basketball team? I knew they had a hockey team. But I'm like, UMass-Lowell has a basketball team. I didn't know that.
Yes, they do. There's my you want my contribution to the topic here?
Yes.
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 Indeed. They have a basketball team and they will compete this afternoon. This is like hey, who's on the schedule? Wisconsin. Oh, we play Wisconsin? Oh, Green Bay. Not even Green Bay. This isn't Whitewater.
River Falls.
This is UW River Falls.
Yeah. You're like, okay, I guess I'll take the time to watch the Hawks beat up on UMass-Lowell.
What does let's see. The 10-2 Iowa Hawkeyes coming off
Are we the only ones who laugh at games like this?
Coming off a 94th. Coming off a 94-39 win over Bucknell. Coming off a 94-39 win over Bucknell and a 40-point victory over Western Michigan. Your 10-2 Iowa Hawkeyes will face the 5-9 UMass-Lowell Riverhawks. Iowa's favored by a meager 32.5 points. UMass-Lowell's 5 wins this year have come against Rivier, Stonehill, Emerson, Fisher, and Sacred Heart.
I've only heard of one of those schools. Seriously, I've only heard of one of those schools. Sacred Heart.
They've only lost by 50 to one team this year.
Who was that?
UConn. UConn destroyed them. UConn beat them by 63, 110-47.
See, now, Buck's taking this way out of context. He says, you guys rip on Iowa's basketball schedule, but praise Kirk Ferentz for UMass and Albany? Pathetic.
No, we don't. No, we don't. Praise Kirk Ferentz for playing against UMass.
Go back to...
What was the Albany? It's not New Albany.
New Albany.
No, New Albany.
We didn't praise those games. And we're not ripping the Iowa schedule.
It's just
we're ripping this game.
It's fun. How can you not? This is funny.
And by the way, Iowa's not alone here. Iowa State plays Houston Christian.
Yes.
Which
let's go have some fun with that real quick, okay?
Houston Christian in Ken Palm, the NET, all these is one of the worst teams in college basketball. One of the worst teams in college basketball.
Houston Christians 5. Oh, my God. Iowa State favored by 36.5. The matchup predictor says Iowa State is only a 99%. So you're telling me there's a chance.
When it comes to that prediction index thing, has there ever been a 100%, or do you always give a 1% to the underdog? Do you have to
give a 1% until the game tips off? You have to, like, hey, maybe the bus won't show up. Maybe the locker room will get locked, and Iowa State can't get out of the locker room. Have crazier things happened? I will say the Houston Christian, the Huskies.
No, don't say anything. Don't say any. Don't even try to justify this in your head.
They don't have a 70-point loss
until tonight.
Okay, good point. I don't even know who. Oh my goodness, they played a team called the College of Biblical Studies Ambassadors. That's a team. They don't even have one of those little hyperlinks. You can't even click to see the College of Biblical Studies. Their mascot is the Ambassadors.
If you want to watch basketball tonight, not saying don't go to Carver Hawkeye, not saying don't go to Ames, but don't. Go to Cedar Falls and watch Northern Iowa take on Valpo.
Yeah, that'd be
go to the Knapp Center.
Watch Drake
and watch Drake take on Illinois State. Illinois State is the preseason favorite. It's those are good games. Going to be much more entertaining than what you're going to see in Iowa City. Going to be much more entertaining than what you're going to see in Ames. Sure, you may like to watch your team beat up on somebody, and I get that. But if you want to be entertained, if you want to watch good basketball, maybe closer basketball games, Drake and Illinois State. Illinois State's a good basketball team. Has 10 wins on the year. Preseason pick to win the Valley. Drake's coming off a win against Evansville, sitting at 7-6. They win tonight at the Knapp Center. Huge win for Hendo, if he can get it. Northern Iowa's going to be in the mix, all right? They're 9-3. You're talking about a team that's going to compete for a Valley championship. Not saying they're going to win it, but they're going to be up there. Those are just better games to watch, period.
Big one for Drake. That Illinois State game at home, that's a big one for all those things we've talked about with Hendo. Coming off of a win, not that you need it, and again, nothing I think that Drake has to constantly have that attitude of the season is a primer. Nothing fatal happens here in December or January or February, quite frankly. You can lose.
You're right.
And, you got to position yourself. You got to get yourself in a good position, certainly. So, but tonight that'd be a big one. Big one for the fans. Tonight, 8:00 tip.
That's the only bad part is that, man, too bad you couldn't tip at 6 or 7. You're like 8:00? But those are your better basketball games. I'm just curious. Yeah. They got Iowa State at the 99%. What's Iowa against UMass-Lowell?
We'll get back to that.
Is it 97%, 98, or is that 99 as well?
I don't remember it popping out at me, so I'm guessing 98.7. UMass-Lowell has a 1.3% chance of winning this game tonight. Slightly higher percentage that the Iowa locker room gets locked, apparently. I don't go ahead. Sorry.
Final non-con games for both.
Yeah.
Then we'll get into the heat of the conference season.
You can't even say warm up. You can't even be like, well, final warm up before these games are over 5 minutes into it.
Ben McCollum and TJ Otzelberger go to this bench and go, okay, boys, make the most of it tonight because this might be the last time you see action this year. This is the end of the bench. Right?
Some of those guys, yeah.
Yeah. You're going to get your minutes tonight. You walked on, enjoy it. Soak it in.
I don't mean to pick on Houston Christian but I do think it's funny because we talked about Houston Christian and their matchup with the College of Biblical Studies. Rob steals a line from Major League. You trying to tell me Jesus Christ can't hit a three-pointer? I love our listeners. Thank you, guys. I love our community. That's so good. You're trying to say Jesus Christ can't hit a curveball? You put snot on the ball? I got an arm like yours, kid. I got Vagisil.
Who was the old guy that was the pitcher?
What was his? I don't remember. Couldn't tell you. I obviously couldn't tell you the actor. I don't even remember what the character's name was. That was the old pitcher. Hey, bartender, Joe Boo needs a refill.
Maybe one of the of everything in there, that was like the most unbelievable character because he was so old. And you're like, yeah, he doesn't fit the Major League Baseball pitcher type.
Yeah, but we were coming off of watching guys like Charlie Huff. I mean, we were coming off of watching guys that looked like they were 75 years old. Phil and Joe Niekro. They looked like my grandpa out there. So that's why it didn't seem too crazy. And again, it was a team of misfits.
The Hawkeye women got a win yesterday, blew out Penn State 99-76. 6 players in double figures. Ava Hayden with a career-high 27 points. The big number that really impressed me anyway, when you go to the rebounding, 48-27 rebounding advantage the Hawkeyes had as they improved to 11-2 overall, 2-0 in the Big Ten. Up next is Nebraska. Nebraska currently unbeaten. The Huskers play USC, I think, coming up, and then play Iowa. So you could have an unbeaten Nebraska team against an unbeaten Iowa team. Again, Big Ten action underway for the Hawkeye women. So a good win by Jan Jensen and her team yesterday. And I believe the Cyclone women play tomorrow or Wednesday.
Here, let me look. I'm on ESPN. I can look that up very quickly here for us. Because I don't know either. I don't know when the Iowa State women and who they would have.
It's not today.
It is, you're right, it is New Year's Eve at 1 o'clock against Houston. At Houston. Bill Fennelly and the crew celebrating the new year in Houston.
Hell, they may be back in town by the time.
Right.
Yeah.
But
done at 6. 2-hour flight. Yeah, you're gonna celebrate New Year's Eve at home. Speaking of New Year's Eve, we talked about in hour number 1 coming up on New Year's Eve. You're not going to want to miss the show because Ross and myself, and maybe we'll bring Justin in for that. We're going to do the top 10 stories of 2025 for the state of Iowa, and we're kind of assembling our list now. We haven't ranked them yet. Still kind of putting them together because we work late. We like to push the deadlines. But, you may agree with us. You may not agree with us. But there was, even the list I sent you yesterday, there's a lot of stuff that happened in the state during the year. A lot of big stories that happened. So we'll be able to go through those on New Year's Eve.
How about this? In the top 10, will ISU beating Iowa in wrestling?
Ooh, it should, right? I didn't have that on my initial list.
I know you didn't.
I think it's up there.
Where is Caitlin Clark in the top 10 stories of 2025? Is it fair to still say she's still one of the? I mean, she didn't play much, and I'm not this is not. I don't think if I'm putting together a list of top 10, I don't think I would put Caitlin Clark anywhere in there because I don't remember a specific. I mean, was her injury a top 10 sports story? Maybe.
Well, the way I look at it, Ross, is she doesn't play for an Iowa team. She doesn't play in Iowa anymore, so I don't put her in that category.
All right.
Now, we talked about Caitlin Clark a lot, rightfully so, because of her injury, but that doesn't mean it took place in the state of Iowa. I look at it as a sports story that took place in the state of Iowa.
We just need to turn this top 10 over to the listeners. Sammy writes in and says, number 7, Travis's rudeness rocks the hotel breakfast buffet. Remember when he ruined all those people's breakfast that one morning? You're rude.
I am rude. I have no problem saying that I'm rude. I'm going to be in
recency. Is it recency bias for us to say the top story of the year? Man, it's hard to get past this Matt Campbell, Rocco Becht. And does that all get looped into one? Because if that's one thing,
no, I think they're separate.
Matt Campbell leaving, Rocco Becht leaving, Jimmy Rogers, new head coach. Those are 3 separate incidents.
Yeah,
that would all be deserving to be in the top 10. Ben McCollum,
so.
Ben McCollum, Iowa.
Well, and we're kind of giving it away here. We haven't ranked him yet, but Drake winning an NCAA tournament game is one of the top stories.
Yeah,
and winning
the tournament game. Yeah.
So I think those are all separate stories. They're all connected and intertwined in a way, but I don't even look at it as Rocco Becht. I think you have to look at it as the transfer portal as a whole, starting with Rocco Becht and now at 38 players. I think that's definitely a top 10 story.
That might be again, recency bias. It's hard to go, Matt Campbell spent 10 years here and he leaves, and that's hard to not be the number one story. The transfer portal rocking Iowa State and hitting Iowa, by the way, the state of Iowa, in a way it never had before.
I think ones that we have to have discussion on that I sent was Iowa Western winning the JUCO national championship. I think Grandview winning back-to-back national championships. I think Nick Mitchell leaving Grandview as the wrestling coach is a major story that happened. I mean, you look at what Nick Mitchell did at Grandview and the resume he built up, that was a pretty big move.
Yeah.
Sure, a lot of people aren't going to know about, but the effect that it could have on a program.
And Grant Henderson steps in there and continues things. Dominating duels still.
So there's plenty to pick from. It's just where we rate them. And yes, Ross, I do believe Iowa State beating Iowa in wrestling is a story. First time it happened since 2004? That's a big deal. It's a major deal. Do you still take New Year's seriously? I mean, do you party on New Year's Eve?
I'm going over to my buddy's house. Dude, here's the thing, Trav. My buddy Josh has had all of us over for years on New Year's Eve. I don't even know how many years they've been doing it. And the last 2 years, I haven't been able to make it. 2 years ago, I was at the bowl game. Last year, Audrey got the flu like at 6 o'clock on New Year's Eve, and we ended up not being able to go down to the party, get together, whatever you want to call it, gathering. So yeah, I am looking forward to that. Some of my friends from kindergarten I haven't seen for a couple of years, or really been able to hang out with them. So yeah, will I get hammered drunk? And no, I won't, but I will have a good time, and I'm looking forward to it, hanging out with my friends.
I can't tell you the last time I made it to midnight on New Year's Eve. I'm now just like 7:30, 8 o'clock going, struggling just to stay awake, keep my eyes open.
God, midnight's late.
It really, really is. Say you're old without saying you're old. Midnight's late. Really, really late. You know what happened 19 years ago today?
19 years ago today, 2006.
Greta was born. Yeah.
Wow. Birthday G Money.
She was my tax deduction. I'll never forget this. I was 4 hours away because she wasn't due till like late January. And all of a sudden, Anjanette goes, "Hey, my water just broke." And this was like 4:30 in the morning. I was supposed to be on a flight to Dallas at like 8 o'clock in the morning. I was going to the Cotton Bowl. Nebraska was playing Auburn, so I was on my way to the Cotton Bowl. And so I called my boss, said, "Hey, I can't go to the Cotton Bowl today. My baby's going to be born." So we went and had the baby, or Anjanette had the baby, and I left the next day for Dallas. And people are like, "You left the next day?" I'm like, "Listen,
it was
we already."
Yeah, right.
It was kid number 4, where there was plenty of support. She sure as hell didn't need me, right? But it's just, man.
Especially those first few days. Like this is the parenting thing. We kind of, you know, when you're in the hospital, first of all, they have professionals that you're paying to take care of the kid. They don't want you to do too much. And then those first couple of days are the easiest days of being a parent these days. And especially kid number 4, I guarantee, and I know Anjanette well enough to know that she was like, can somebody get him out of here? Can somebody get him out from underneath my feet for the next 72 hours, please? I can do
and
that.
I obliged. I took care of it for her. Got to Dallas, watched Cotton Bowl.
Happy birthday, Greta.
Who had to spend yesterday in the ER. So, all right, Justin's here.
What's up, boys?
What are you doing?
Just listening to the show, as always.
You back home?
What was that?
You're back home. How was the weekend? Took a little trip?
Yeah, we always go down to Missouri to see her side of the family during Christmas, so it was fun. The drive back yesterday wasn't as fun. I mean, with all that, the wind and the snow, there was a couple of times like a semi would pass you and be like wide out. And you're just like kind of gripping the wheel like, well, I don't see the lines, but hopefully I'm in between them.
Nobody's surprised Justin's the type of guy that gets passed by semis on the interstate. What did we screw up today?
Nothing. You guys, again, I think,
Telling
seriously,
this segment, yep, dead in the water.
It is dead in the water.
I have questions, though, for you guys.
Okay.
Mostly for Trav. So, Trav, you said this was like the first NFL game you've watched in its entirety in a long time.
This season.
I get it. You're a Steelers fan, but of all the games, why Steelers-Browns?
Because they were going to...
I was wondering that same thing, but that's why I brought up that he's a Steelers fan.
Because if they won yesterday, they were going to clinch the AFC North. And I was down in the office doing some work, and I'm like, okay, I forget who was on the other channel, who was playing the opposite of them on Fox. I forget who it was, but I'm like, oh, I'd rather I think it was the Patriots were on or somebody. And I'm like, I'd rather watch the Steelers, knowing that if they won, they were going to wrap up the North. So that's why I picked that one.
That makes it.
And then it was a defensive battle, and then you're like, God, I think I'm going to keep watching this. And the Steelers had more than ample opportunity. They did miss DK Metcalf yesterday, right? And they're going to miss him against Baltimore. That was a huge, huge loss for them yesterday. So you got a big one coming up on Saturday night with the Seahawks and 49ers.
I know. Nerve-wracking. Because, I mean, is Shanahan the lock for Coach of the Year? The fact all those injuries. Brady was injury. Ooh, Vrabel too. Good point. And, I mean, Denver, they've locked up the AFC. But it's just crazy, like, all those injuries. Purdy was out for, 5-6 games?
Yeah.
That defense has been depleted. And the fact they're still like, all right, we just need a win and we get the number 1 overall seed and home field advantage is crazy. But yes, I would love nothing more than for Purdy and the 49ers to suck on Saturday.
I forgot to say this, and Patrick brought it up in the chat, and Jay Glazer reported out yesterday on Fox that the Steelers waived their no-play clause in the contract. So he'll get his guaranteed money, DK Metcalf.
Will he really?
But you know what that is?
Did you guys see the press conference with the dude he punched?
No.
He did a press conference. Oh, dude. I mean, the truth. Sometimes the truth is in the middle, right? And this is one of those cases where I watched that press conference. First of all, the dude shows up at the press conference with his attorneys, wearing his Lions cap backwards. At the press conference table, he's sitting there with his Lions cap on backwards, talking about how. The minute he gets punched, he starts like celebrating, like payday. I'm good. It worked. Anyway, not that DK should have done it. Not that again, truth is in the middle somewhere, but it's like, damn, I don't want that guy to get paid either.
And maybe that's why the Steelers say, we're going to waive your no play clause. We're going to pay you your money. But it also builds loyalty to a program. You go, hey, they could have screwed me, but they didn't screw me. And you know what that does is for other guys who are thinking about signing with the program, you go, hey, that's a program that cares about its players.
Ripple effects. That's a good point.
Absolutely. So, Justin, we started going through our top 10. Have you started assembling, some stories that we'll have a call later on where we can rank them and then we can put it together for the show on Wednesday. But have you started assembling your top 10?
I sent you an email, both of you, around like 6:50 this morning.
Okay.
And I have a good list. Ross did grab one of them just a few moments ago. I brought up the Iowa State wrestling.
Oh, did you? Okay. All right.
I know you guys were talking about Caitlin Clark, and she's not a part of an Iowa team. I get that, but I did put in the Halliburton Pacers run because, man, that was pretty incredible. And Halliburton was all over the place. He was on Pat McAfee.
True.
I thought that one could have been up there, but yeah, I got a couple of other ones.
So maybe later tonight we can hop on a call here and we can do our rankings, and then we can kind of. I think we have 10 good ones.
So with the Caitlin Clark thing, what about Brock Purdy? Wouldn't Brock Purdy still be? I mean, you mentioned the Halliburton thing. I've had a lot of people, not just from last night. I mean, Brock Purdy is a continuous conversation in some of my group texts, right, about his career, how good he's doing, what trajectory it's on.
See, this is why I think we need parameters saying it took place in the state of Iowa.
That's where I'm with, because
that could be good. Yeah.
For me, the Caitlin is not. I wouldn't put Caitlin in my top 10 of Iowa sports stories for 2025 because there just wasn't a story about it.
Same. And I would be the same way with Brock. Like, he was injured for a lot of this season.
Okay.
Now, what they're doing right now is pretty incredible.
Yeah.
And they have an opportunity. But yeah, so I do see both sides of this argument because I did put Halliburton in there. But yeah, I got a couple of other good ones.
Iowa State women and that basketball game of top 15 teams, unbeaten teams, living up to the hype. Is that the top 10 story from the year? Travis says no.
I had Iowa State just basketball golden era where you have the men's team beating Purdue and being top 4 and Audie Crooks.
Dude.
Can't score less than 40.
I'm guilty of the thing that I did not even have Iowa State destroying Purdue in my top 10.
That may be one. I don't know if I would say the golden era yet because we have to wait till 2026 to decide. Because if this team gets knocked out in the round of 32 or even the Sweet 16, you're like, okay,
you forget about it.
Yeah, you can forget about it. I think you have to say maybe next year at this time we're saying Iowa State in the Final Four. Then you go, okay, that was what it was.
An event that was pretty big. NASCAR was in Iowa. I went to Newton for the NASCAR event. Tyler wrote that in. That's a good one. I didn't have that on my list, and that was one of my highlights of my 2025.
So good stuff. We're going to do our rankings sometime tonight, and then debut them.
I do have the Drake game, so you do have to let me know what time.
Oh yeah, I forgot. You got to go over there at 8:00 tonight. Maybe we'll do it right around 5 or 6.
We'll do it way before 8.
All right, everybody. Have a great Monday. Enjoy your week. We're back tomorrow morning at 6 a.m. It's the Rush Radio Show powered by Willis Automotive.
Start spreading the news, cause it's time to buy booze, and there's only one place to be. You can see all your friends, the good times never end, unless you're just loitering. It's Central City. We can make your dreams come true. No guarantee your dreams will come true. Central City. All this booze is waiting for you. Look at all this booze.
What's going on, everybody? It's Bobby here at Willis Volvo Cars. Costco is back for the holidays, up to $2,000 off select vehicles. There's $3,000 in winter savings. There is so many great programs. There are such great lease incentives. You got to get down here and check it out. So check us out online at willisvolvocars.com or stop on down to the showroom. Great selection, great people. You'll be glad you did.
Gift giving. It happens to the best of us.
Thanks, I think.
But what if I told you there's a better way? Toss the silly socks and ditch the mediocre mugs, because the Iowa Lottery's gift that keeps on winning is here to save the holidays. Give your loved ones holiday scratch tickets with a chance to win instantly or unwrap your share of $1 million. Say no, no, no to boring presents with the Iowa Lottery this holiday season.
Woohoo!
Enter and see rules at ialottery.com/VIP.
Tis the season to share great taste. Grab a refreshing Coca-Cola and make every moment a celebration. Locally made, nationally loved, Coca-Cola is the real deal when it comes to holiday cheer. Whether you're kicking back after the game or hosting the crew, nothing hits like that crisp, fizzy taste. Make this season yours. Grab an ice-cold Coca-Cola today.
Missing a quality, home-cooked meal? You know, the kind Mom used to make? Lucky for you, we found her recipe book. Welcome to the High Life. Welcome to the champagne of bars.
Every business has priorities, and Priority One Heating and Cooling is no different. As a service provider, we prioritize quality air conditioners and furnaces that will keep your home at your comfort level year-round. As a small business, we prioritize doing things the right way and treating people fairly. As a truly local business, we prioritize our community. As a veteran-owned business, we prioritize duty and commitment. For big business service with local value, trust your home to the place where you are always Priority One.
Back to The Rush. Strong opinions, weak filters, and just enough sense to stay on the air. It's The Rush Radio Show, powered by Willis Automotive.